Hi all, Dan again here. Today's Ask Me Anything. It's more about ear tips. I don't know, you guys got fascination with ear tips. You guys like what's in here. I'm not sure about that. That kind of scares me from some of you. I'm looking at like you, Jeremy Judkins. Little shout out there to a friend on Twitter, but what can I say? At Jeremy Judkins. He's a big Tesla fan. Little edgy. He's into ear canals and other things. Just saying. So anyway, today we're talking about ear tips, specifically why they sometimes have different sound. And I thought a good way to start it is kind of cover some of the basic physics of the situation. Thus, we're at the whiteboard instead of on that side of the room, which would be over with the picture that you normally see me behind. And today I've got two different types of ear tips kind of cut in half. So you got to see what's going on. We've got the traditional silicone style, and with ours we do a dual kind of material. We've got a pretty stiff material on the inside. That's this green. That represents a tube. This is basically a cut in half. If you took an earbud, such as this one, and you just cut it in half vertically, what would you see? You would see this. You see this kind of solid surface here, and that tube's round. So that's a high durometer, which means it's a relatively stiff material. And we have this soft shell on the outside that comes out, and that's like this. Then we have our foam type. Again, we have the stiff inner liner, and that's required to lock onto the end of the ear tip, the end of the IEM for the nozzle. And then we have molded urethane foam around the outside. And what happens when we compress the two? Well, that's about what I'm going to show you with this magic pen. So let's put these into an ear. Let's say we've got an ear canal. It's like this. What happens is this guy basically bends back and does this. So he goes from where he was before, and he kind of folds himself back, things like that. It leaves the center bore where the sound's coming through very open. That's just what happens. It folds back, it does it. Same thing, I got my ear canal here. This is my ear, my head, things like that. This kind of does the same thing too. So this material will squish back there. But some of this material actually tends to squish in a little in the front there like that. And then the rest squish back down there. This starts occluding. That's a technical word for blocking, occluding, some of the ear canals. So the sound is reduced. It's a little, you're going to lose some high frequencies. What this is going to do is basically do a little bit of a high frequency output on it. So you're going to basically, instead of having a frequency response that's flat, when like this happens, what's going to happen is it's going to start it's going to lose a little output, and it's going to kind of roll off the top a bit. That's what happens when you have a foam ear tip. They can be more comfortable. They're phenomenal at noise blocking. That's why I love them. Like when I'm traveling on an airplane, foams always go on. I'll take a little hit in terms of the quality of the sound because I want something that cuts everything out. Having a real foam earplug in your ear, huge benefit. That's what goes there. But it does affect the sound, and that's why usually when I'm around on the office or things like that, or not traveling in a place where I need to have noise cancellation or noise isolation, I should say, so strong, I'll use my silicone tips. That's the big difference between the two. This one's going to squish in a bit on the front. It's going to occlude some of the output. It's going to act like a little bit of a low-pass filter. You're going to lose a little bit on the top octave or so. It's going to start affecting things above 9, 10 kilohertz. The silicone won't. Silicone's not going to isolate quite as well, though, as the foam. And it may not be as comfortable. Some people prefer to have the pressure distributed everywhere evenly rather than just in a few locations with silicone. It's up to you. So I hope that answers your questions. You've kind of seen what goes on there. If anybody else has any other questions, I don't just sit on the couch. I'll actually stand up and get to the whiteboard for you. Sorry about that. There you go. Today's Ask Me Anything. And shoot them over to new questions you got to @periodicaudio on Twitter, or send them to info@periodicaudio.com. We'll get them answered. Thanks all. We'll see you later. Bye.